All right, so this is about how did religion affect life in ancient Egypt. On page 2, you'll just read in your language this summary. Religion was important to the ancient Egyptians. They believed in many gods and goddesses that usually looked like animals. Many pharaohs built large temples in honor of their gods. Now on this page, you're going to describe the pictures on the right. So maybe you're going to say something like, I see a snake. There is a man with an animal head. I see a woman with wings. Different sentences like this. And then what do you think they are? I think they are. And then write your thoughts. Now on this next page, you will either click here to read the Ducksters article to answer these questions, or some of you have this written here. So you will read about these gods and goddesses. You're looking to find out who was the sun god, who was the ruler of the underworld, who was the god of the sky, and who was the god of knowledge. So as you read this, you're going to listen for that. And these highlighted words are the names to help you. So I will read this. Major gods and goddesses. There were some gods and goddesses that were more important and prominent than others. Here are some of the more important ones. Ra was the sun god and the most important god to the ancient Egyptians. Ra was drawn as a man with a hawk head and a headdress with a sun disk. Isis was the mother goddess. It was thought that she would protect and help people in need. She was drawn as a woman with a headdress in the shape of a throne. Osiris. Osiris was ruler of the underworld and god of the dead. He was the husband of Isis and the father of Horus. Osiris was drawn as a mummified man with a feathered headdress. Horus was the god of the sky. Horus was the son of Isis and Osiris. He was drawn as a man with the head of a hawk. The ruler of the Egyptians, Pharaoh, was thought to be the living version of Horus. Thoth was the god of knowledge. He blessed the Egyptians with writing, medicine, and mathematics. He was also god of the moon. Thoth is drawn as a man with a bird head, or as a baboon. So after you read that, and over here you're going to write in Miss Wilson was the sun god. No, that's not right. You're going to write the name of the sun god for number 1 and the name of each of these. Now on this page, all you have to do is say what you learned in this first part. I learned, and then write what you learned. What did you learn about gods and goddesses? Here, you can read this, I'll read it in English, and then you can read it in your language. Pharaohs were the kings or queens of ancient Egypt and the high priest of all temples. The pharaoh was like a living god and had to be obeyed all the time. The pharaoh owned everything in Egypt. Every house, animal, man, woman, and child belonged to the pharaoh. Now on this page, you're going to read this again, which is very similar to what I just read for you. And then down here, America has a president. Ancient Egypt had and you will write the answer there. The president is the leader of government only, but pharaohs were the leaders of. The president was only a person. The pharaoh was. And you guys can move these pencils if I put them in a bad place. Here, you are going to write words to finish these sentences. Ancient pharaohs ruled and but the president of the United States only rules the We do not have to obey all his orders, but Pharaoh's rule with absolute which meant ancient Egyptians have to blank because blank. So use page 7 to help you with page 8. On page 9, you're going to write what you learned about pharaohs. That's it. On page 10, you're going to write about these two pictures. What do you think these pictures are? And do you think they are temples? If you say yes, then erase the no. And if you say no, then erase the yes. After you write that on page 11, you will write what you learned about temples. Because here on the bottom it says, the pharaohs of Egypt built the temples as houses for the Egyptian gods. Inside the temples, priests performed rituals in hopes of gaining the favor of the gods and to protect Egypt from the forces of chaos. Now, please do page 12. You'll go back to page 3. And did you explain these pictures? Great. If you did, then put an X. If you forgot to do it, go do it. And if you couldn't figure it out, put a question mark here so that I know that you need help. All right, I hope this helps you do the project.